There we go, Nanta. So today, what I need you to do is read an excerpt from Game. I have it all set up for you on the Nook. So as you read, there will be some words that are highlighted in this text. Remember, we said we wanted to work on vocabulary as we prepare for your test. So there are some words that are highlighted. So if there are words that you know how to pronounce, but you're not really sure what the meaning of the word is, then you can just write it on this list and we'll take care of them later, okay? When you finish reading this excerpt, and it is short, it's just 3 pages, even though all of them are numbered 18 on the Nook. But what we want you to do is to be able to just give a summary of what you've read, and then write, I want you to write what it makes you think about. Okay? So that's what we are doing today, just to continue to work on word meaning and understanding what we read. So any questions for me?
No.
You sure? You feeling okay today?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a little bit of a smile. So I'll let you know how to do the Nook. But there will be some words that are underlined, and then those are the words that you would write here. So I'll let you hold it. And then any word that you get to, just try to sound it out, and if you really need me to help you, I will, okay?
The first game in the
You do remember the story, right? What we're reading about? Okay.
the first game in the second half of the season was a non-league game against the Wadley. Wadley was a trip because the whole team was made up of skinny Latino brothers who could out and outfly. If they got you in their running game, you were over before you started, because they never got tired. The only way to stop them was to get an early lead and then control the board so they couldn't run. It also helped to beat on them a little if the refs let you get away with it. We went downtown to the Raggedy Butt gym, checked out their fly girls, and had just started our warm-ups when Ricky came over and told us who was starting. House had put both the white boys in the starting lineup with me, Ruffy, and Sky. Ricky was mad big time, and so was I. On the bench before the game, House came up with some noise about getting in as many combinations of players as possible because it was a non-league game. I don't want to see what works. I want to see what works and what doesn't, he said. You didn't see what worked in the first game, Sky asked. I'm still trying out things. House came back. Don't worry about it. I knew the guy was supposed to be guarding me. He lived in the Bronx and ran with Latin Deuces. He had a funny way of holding his face, and his cousin, a foxy mama, I tried to get next to one time. She told me he had been shot in his face when he was 9. I called him Stoneface behind his back, but I didn't mess with him too tough because the dude acted like he might have been a little off.
Okay, so before we go to the next page, so what words do we have highlighted on this page?
Combinations, non-league, guarding, funny, tough, dude.
Okay, so you understand what those words mean? Okay, all right, we'll come back to them later. Keep going.
Wiley got the ball first, and House called for 1-2-2 zone, which is seriously whack against a running club. While you're falling back into a zone position, they're going to pass you to the hoop. Stoneface brought the ball down, faked toward Cullen, then flew past him and made a layup over Sky. They had the first deuce. On defense, a little dark-haired guard took the ball away from Colin before he got to half court. They had 4 points. Just about the whole first quarter was Riley's show. They were doing anything they wanted to, and we were flat-footed. Colin couldn't play any D at all and was doing the tour-aider moves, watching guys go past him. Meanwhile, I'm checking out Thomas. What I saw was that he knew how to use his body, blocking out on offense and being kind of strong on defense, but he never got off the floor. It's okay to block out, but you
Okay, now what words do we have highlighted on this page?
seriously, flat-footed, meanwhile, checking.
Okay, you understand the definition of those words? All of them?
Flat-footed. I think it's like flat-footed, like letting him do it, or I'm not for sure about that word.
Okay, so why don't we write that one on this list then? Okay, just so we can, that will be one that we will we'll talk about later. Okay, all right, what about the next one? The next words were okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It's okay to block out, but you have to jump or guys will go over you, especially if they're quick enough to roll to your side. On offense, he had a few moves and was strong to the basket, but he wasn't getting up. Twice his man knocked his shot away, and once when Thomas made a weak fake and tried an easy shot from under the hoop, the defense guy jumped up and grabbed the ball in midair. When he did that, all the girls from Wiley started cracking up on the sideline. House kept calling the same two plays over and over. Me and Colin were bringing the ball up court slow, passing in to Ruffy or Scott at the high post, then sliding across looking for the soft pick high while Thomas set up deep and rolled away from the ball, looking for the inside pass. When we wasn't doing that, we were bringing Ruffy way out to set a high pick, crossing the arc guard out near the foul line, and trying to set up a backdoor or a chippy for one of the forwards. Either way, I could see the House was setting up the game so that Thomas would look good. The guys on Wiley saw that was going down and were eating it up. I asked House to switch to 1-on-1 so I could guard Stoneface, but he wouldn't. As we got to the end of the first quarter, it was Wiley 26 and us 14. Our guys were down and Wiley was having fun. The second quarter went the same way. It was Wiley doing what they wanted to do and us playing like we were at practice or something. I tried setting a few picks for Colin, but he ignored them and went for the inside play the way House told him. Near the end of the half, Wiley hit a couple of threes and were now challenging the whole deal.
Where are you? What's the word? Chalant.
Nonchalant.
Yeah, you know what that means?
No.
Okay, we'll put that on our list. I write it there. Okay, keep going.
The whole deal. I hate it when guys start acting like the game is over and they're too good to lose. Then Stoneface got into a switch with their center, faked inside, and when Ruffy followed him out of the paint, threw up a pretty hook and made it. The guys from Wiley goofed big time on that. They weren't showing us any respect. I knew what House was doing. He was working out his game plan, and because it wasn't a league game, didn't care if we lost or not. I'd take the loss, but I wasn't giving up the respect. Colin passed me the peel in the inbound and stopped to wait for it back. But I started down court. Stoneface picked Colin up at half court and came down with him. I stopped 10 foot behind the key, pointing at Stoneface and backbone for him to come on and out and get me. He wasn't going to let that slide and came over. My man switched to Cullen. Stoneface is quick and he's real strong. He's got this way of holding his hands up about shoulder high to make you think he's not going for the ball, but he's moving his body into you and putting you off balance so you can't get around him. I saw that, but I knew I could beat it. I threw a head fake to the right, the first one that Stoneface had been seeing all day, and came back hard to my left, dipping under his shoulder. I knew I had half a step, maybe less, and Stoneface was going to be coming. I went hard down the left side, planting on the line, and went up across the lane and threw it down from the far side. It was sweet, and everybody in the gym knew it. Ruffy screamed, and Abdul, who had come in for Sky, fell down like he had fainted. The ref blew the whistle and said something to Abdul about taunting, but he didn't call a technical. House called a timeout. When we got to the bench, he was looking up at the clock. There was still more than a minute to go in the half.
Okay. So now let's work on this page. So just think about what you've read, and let's summarize, and we can talk about it first. Now this is your story feature chart that you did before, so you can remember who some of the characters are. And so who do you think is talking, in terms of what you just finished reading? Which one of the...
Drew?
You think it's Drew? Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you. That is Drew. And so just what kind of summary, what would you say about what you've read, about what Drew is saying in the story? What is it about?
About him, because in the beginning of the story, Drew's mother was concerned about her kids being in danger from gang members. Then we got further to the story. Playing basketball, Drew was he was figuring out who was going to start, and figuring out who, and why was House trying to let... I forgot about that part, but...
Okay, no, you don't have to go all the way back to here. I just wanted you to see, but just based on what you read today, what do you think is happening in the story? Let's just think about they're doing a non-league game, right?
Non-league game.
Yeah, and Drew is talking about the team that they're playing. So is he kind of happy about what's going on, or he feel like he needs to have? So what kind of stuff? What could we say regarding what you read?
Could say that Drew was... The story is about, like, the part I just read?
Yeah, just the
whole
part,
story?
the part you just read. Yeah, just part you just read.
Well,
With them at this particular school, and
Drew wanted to figure out Drew was concerned about who was starting, and he was kind of upset about the score. He was upset that the team wasn't giving him respect, and upset that House was trying to let, what's his name? Thomas look good.
Okay. So that's the summary. So let's look on this side. What does it make you think about in terms of yourself? You're a basketball player. So when you're reading this, what is it making you think about?
Makes me think about that it is not important to just like it's not a one-man show. It's a team game. It makes me think that the coaches are doing his job right for trying to have one man look good and the whole team's supposed to look good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you want to take time and write down what you think? I think we can.